Good morning everybody, welcome. Today we have English class grade 9, unit 9, helping hands making friends. Today we have period number 4, page 19. So let's start with the new words. Listen everybody and repeat the new words.
Unit 9, period 4, activity 1. Belong, disabled, disaster, earthquake, equipment, extra, flood, international, organization, victim. Word formation. Volunteer, volunteer, voluntary.
Okay. Now let's read the new words and have the meaning.
Unit 9.
The first one is belong is a verb to be in the right place or a suitable place. And the picture here, families belong together. Okay, for example, this table belong in the sitting room. And we have another example, where do these spoons belong? Now the other one is disabled. As usual, as you know everybody, by looking at this picture, you know or you understand the meaning of disabled. Disabled is not having one or more of the physical or mental abilities that most people have. For example, the accident left him severely disabled. Okay, so disabled, it means when you don't have physical or mental ability. After disabled we have disaster. Disaster is a noun, an event that results in great harm, damage or death or serious difficulty. By look at this picture everybody, you can find there is a disaster happened here. Okay, example, it would be a disaster for me if I lost my job or my career. And also it would be, for example here, tsunami is one of the worst natural disasters happened in the world. After disaster we have earthquake. Look at the picture here. Earthquake destroyed the picture, destroyed the house, and also the earthquake can destroy maybe farms and many other things. Earthquake is a sudden violent movement of the earth's surface, sometimes causing great damage. For example, in 1906, an earthquake destroyed much of San Francisco. After earthquake we have equipment, and these all kitchen equipment. And did you memorize these? Did you know these? Maybe sometimes your mother use them. Okay, so equipment is the set of necessary tools, clothing, whatever, etc. for a particular purpose. We have, for example, each job has special equipment for it. For example, the farmer has special equipment. In the office we have special equipment for the office. Camping, kitchen equipment, electrical equipment, all these. Example, all of the medical equipment must be sterilized before use. Okay, after that we have extra. And as you know everybody, when we say extra, it means more than usual. Okay, added to what is normal, it is adjective. If you need any extra help, just call me. Recently he's been working an extra 2 hours a day. Okay, after extra we have flood, and a large amount of water covering an area that is usually dry. Here we have in the picture, the water covers the houses and the farms and the area. After the flood, it took weeks for the water level to go down. Now, international adjective involving more than one country. Adjective, it means more than one adjective or more than one country. International. She was the boss for a large international company. Another example, the Davis Cup is an important international tennis championship. Okay, now we have organization. We have in this picture 7 organization tips and tracks for families. Okay, and here organization is a noun, a group of people who work together in an organized way for a shared purpose. For example, the World Health Organization. Also, we can have another example. We've applied to a charitable organization for a grant for their project. After organization, we have victim, adjective, and here the picture. The man hit the car. The man by his car hitting the motorcycle, and the man or the victim is on the floor, die or injured and or broken and legs, arms, whatever. So a person who has suffered the effects of violence or illness or bad luck. For example, the murderer had lured his victim to a deserted house. Another example, she claimed to have been a victim of child abuse. Now, when we say or when we come to volunteer, volunteer as a noun is a person who helps other people willingly and without being forced or paid to do it. For example, the health clinic is rely on volunteers to run the office and answer the phones. Volunteer as a verb, for example, my friend volunteered me to do the taking. Okay, voluntary is adverb. She does voluntary work. Okay, she does voluntary work for the Red Cross 2 days a week. Voluntary workers. Okay, after voluntary we have exercise number 2. Listen everybody to exercise 2 and put the new words or put the words in the suitable place.
Unit 9, Period 4, Activities 2 and 3. 1.
I hear that you belong to Oxfam, but what does it do?
It's a big organisation that helps people in trouble round the world.
2. There seem to be a lot of natural disasters around the world.
Yes, for example that flood in China after weeks of heavy rain.
I remember. There were thousands of victims who lost everything.
3.
Do you remember when thousands of buildings collapsed in that big earthquake last year?
Yes, there was a big international call for help from round the world.
4. Tony does voluntary work at a school for children with special needs. There are a lot of volunteers like him who go to help the teachers.
Do the children need extra help with studying and learning how to do things?
Yes, because they're all disabled in various ways. The school has lots of special equipment to help the children too.
Okay. After we finish listening and reading this exercise, let's come to exercise number
Unit
3.
9.
Exercise number 4 on page 19. We need to listen everybody and do the task. In this case or in this exercise, we need to answer these 2 questions. What kind of program is Young World? Number 2, what is the topic of the program today as well as last week? We need to answer these 2 questions. As well, everybody, we need to order these 4 people who mention first Tom, Hassan, Rosa, and Samira? Okay, we need to know who is number one, and of course we need to see what of these four people do, and these are the choices what they do: doing community projects, doing voluntary work at a local library, sending help to victims of natural disasters, or looking after sick or disabled people at home. So let's read. And
Unit 9, Period 4, Activity 4.
Hello, and welcome to Young World, the news program for young people. Now, do you remember that last week our special topic of the day was people who help people? Well, this week we're continuing with the same topic, and we're going to meet more people who help other people. A lot of adults think that young people don't care about other people, but that really isn't correct. To start with, think back to last week when we met Samira from Palestine. Lots of young people are like her. They look after people at home. They help people in their families who are sick or disabled. But a lot more young people volunteer to help others in the wider community. They want to do something extra, something more than just thinking about themselves all the time. Take Tom from Britain, for example. He's a local community volunteer, and he does local community projects. He's going to talk about a project to help build a new playground with lots of play equipment at a local school. Then we'll be listening to Rosa from Brazil. She's going to talk about voluntary work at her local library with a reading group for young children. Finally, Hassan from Saudi Arabia is going to talk about his international voluntary work. He belongs to an organization that sends help to victims of natural disasters anywhere in the world. Disasters like earthquakes, hurricanes, and floods.
okay, so at the beginning, let's answer these two questions. What kind of program is Young World? Yeah, it is a new program for young people. Number two, what is the topic of the program today, as well as last week? Of course, people who help people. Now, did you remember who mentioned first in this exercise? Tom, Hassan, Rosa, or Samira? Yeah, Samira is number one. And who is next? Tom, number two. Rosa, number three. And Hassan, number four. Now, who can tell me, Samira from Palestine, what does Samira do? From these, what? Looking after sick or disabled people at home. Okay, what about Tom from Britain? What does Tom do? Yes, he is doing community projects. And what about Rosa from Brazil? What does Rosa do? Of course, doing voluntary work at a local library. And the last one, Hassan from Saudi Arabia. He is sending help to victims of natural disasters. After this exercise,
Unit
everybody,
9.
we reach the end of our lesson. Thanks for attending and have a nice day. Goodbye.